up, nation? Hope you're having an awesome Thursday. My name, of course, is Philip DeFranco, and this is where I talk about news type stuff and things that matter to me today. And a quick note before we get started, we have launched our 5 new shirts of the week created by awesome people like yourself from the nation. These will be up for 1 week on shirts, tanks, hoodies, phone cases, whatever you want, and then 4 of them will go away forever. So if you want to grab them, link to that down below. But that said, let's jump into the first story of the day. And nation, the first thing I want to talk about today is someone has died, and normally that would be a bad story. You know, we're all human. Death is this sad constant in life that brings us together, that makes life worthwhile. And I find myself in agreement with a quote that's often misattributed to Mark Twain. And that is, I've never wished a man dead, but I have read some obituaries with great pleasure. And that is 100% the case today with the news that Fred Phelps of the Westboro Baptist Church has died. Surrounded by his friends and family, just imagine the worst kinds of people. And I find myself filled with joy, not of the same mindset of George Takei, who's obviously a man with reasons to dislike Fred Phelps, but who says, you know, he's human. And I'll let George take the high road, and I'll sit here dirty in the trenches. Because alive or dead, fuck Fred Phelps. Other than harassing the families of people who lost family members in tragedies or war, everything he aimed to accomplish failed because he brought people that love one another and accept one another together. He was a human piece of garbage, and the world is a little better off today without him. And that's that. The only way the situation could be better is when you died, your body exploded, wiping out the crazy that was surrounding you. But that's not the case. Your crazy-ass family's still gonna do what they do. And that's that. Good riddance, Fred. May we never have to talk about you ever again. And nation, from there, I want to share some stuff I love today. And Today in Awesome, sponsored by HostGator.com. You want to make a website? Do it. It's super easy. HostGator has easy website builders and one-click WordPress installs. We trust and love them so much, we use them for SourceFed.com. And if you do make the smart move and use them, use coupon code PhillyD for 30% off. And our first bit of awesome is a video from YouTuber 10 Second Songs, who made a not 10-second song of Katy Perry Dark Horse and sang it in the style of 20 different famous artists, and this explanation does not give it enough credit. It's fantastic and you should definitely check it out. Then in other music awesome, except it's awesome because it's so weird, Buckwheat Gropes made a rap video of his favorite movie star ever, Tom Hanks, who proceeds to do all sorts of really messed up stuff during the video, and I could not stop watching. Wilson even gets a lap dance at one point. Then another bit of YouTube awesome is from YouTuber Young Old, and it's a video where he explains cock blocking to his grandparents, and then his grandmother tells his friends to stop cock blocking him. And maybe I'm a child for finding it hilarious when old people say cock blocking, but I'm a happy child. And then nation, I want to talk about our, well, that's kind of weird story of the day. And that is, thanks to some YouTube video and some censored Instagram photos, a couple in Delaware are being pursued by police for lewd conduct. And the reason they're looking for them, I will also say in a way of advice, sex is not something to be ashamed of, but regardless of who you are, if you are having sex in the middle of the day, in a dumpster, in the back of a Dunkin' Donuts, you might want to reassess the things you do in your life. St. Patrick's Day or not. But on the positive side, a fantastic How Mommy and Daddy Fell in Love story. Then in, wow, that's an even worse idea than having drunken day sex in a dumpster at the back of a Dunkin' Donuts news, this 39-year-old woman, Sonia Perez Lanzon, died because of a pulmonary embolism after injecting herself with Vaseline in an attempt to do an at-home breast augmentation. Yes, for real, doctors found a blood clot seemed to be caused because the Vaseline entered her bloodstream. And there really is no moral of the story other than don't inject yourself with Vaseline. That seems like a bad idea. It's actually a random fact. I only know this because I do this show for a living. Most Vaseline injection injuries that I've seen in the news are from guys in Asia who have been trying to increase the size of their penis by injecting Vaseline and oils into it. And while like at first people were like, oh, it looks bigger, it's been causing erectile dysfunction, massive deformations, which by the way, is probably the last place you want to deform. So the main point here is you are beautiful just the way you are, and even if you don't think so, like, you know, go to a professional about it. You could be the guy in a story that reads, skin of the penis either dies or else becomes severely ulcerated in all cases. So yeah, just saying, just some friendly advice. And the last thing I want to talk about today is of course the update of Russia, Crimea, Ukraine, and the United States. Today, after concerns from people of whether or not we would fight Russia over Crimea, President Obama came out and said, no, we will not, saying that that would not be appropriate. But it does seem that he's more than happy to fight Russia and Putin with money and sanctions. Obama today announced that he is expanding previous sanctions to yet more individuals both within and outside of the Russian government, and to a bank that has provided them with material support. He also warned that he'd signed an executive order that would allow him to not only put sanctions against people, but entire sectors of Russia, saying this is not our preferred outcome. These sanctions would not only have a significant impact on the Russian economy, but could also be disruptive to the global economy. However, Russia must know that further escalation will only isolate it further from the international community. And he finished by urging for diplomacy. And as far as if this will be effective for the long term, who knows? For the short term, it does seem to be having an effect. Ruble bonds have dropped for a second day, seemingly because of these sanctions. So the main things we get here, it does not seem like the United States is antsy for a war. But it is still an escalation of the situation with both sides antagonizing the other. We'll have to wait and see what happens next. And nation, that's actually where I'm going to end today's show, and I'd love to know your thoughts on everything we talked about today, but it does bring us to the big question of the day. What are your thoughts on Fred Phelps dying? Is all human life precious, and so you don't want to say anything negative and you take the high road? Or no, are you along the kind of mindset of me where I go, good riddance, glad, happy, even? I'd love to know how you feel and why in the comments down below. Also, if you're not 100% filled in today, I posted a new vloggy on youtube.com/PhillyD, doing that again. And remember, for one of you to possibly get a $50 gift card to forhumanpeoples.com, where I sell the shirts, tanks, posters, pretty much everything. Just leave a comment down below. Maybe while you're at it, hit the like button, favorite, subscribe. Also, thanks again to the sponsor of today's show, HostGator.com. Use coupon code PhillyD for 30% off. And of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you next time.